Anointed warriors. What's up, spiritual family? Welcome back to Mount Fitness MBS Ministry, where I am your host, Brother Mongoose. I am a minister and a philosopher. So that tells you right off the bat that this is a different kind of ministry. I also give you some kind of insight, which I'll follow up on at the end of the video. But it also gives you some insight into the fact that I'm also a different kind of minister. What I'm promoting is a holistic path to health and wellness, to life overall, and to fulfilling the race that He has set before us. It's my belief that when we merge and synthesize our mental, our physical, and our spiritual potential and abilities, it makes us much more stronger. It also helps us live a much more fulfilling life, and it certainly makes us more capable of being used by Him. He didn't just give us a mind. He didn't just give us a body. He didn't just give us a spirit. And in His infinite intelligence, He's given us all of these things so that we can use all of these things. To some of us, obviously, to different and varying rates and degrees. Some may be stronger, more intelligent, more potent when it comes to their mentality. Some may be more stronger, more potent when it comes to their spiritual knowledge and spiritual gifts. And some may be more, inclined, if you will, when it comes to their physical fitness level. But either way, it's the belief of this ministry that we should do something each and every day to acknowledge those three things: our minds, our bodies, and our spirits, to nourish, to strengthen, to rejuvenate those three things. Because let's face it, the onslaught against all three of those components of us, the things that make us human beings, all three of those areas are under constant attack. We don't get a day off. You may get a vacation, you may have some time throughout the day where, some days or some moments or some days or weeks were better than the other. But I would venture to say that even in the midst of those things, there's always some type of potential, at least, negativity, whether it flashes across the news, in your own personal life, whatever the case may be. The potential to attack those things is daily. So I believe that we should do some each and every day to nourish, strengthen, and revitalize our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. I'll talk a little bit more about the ministry and the approach that this ministry is implementing and utilizing to help you achieve a premium level of expression when it comes to your mind, your body, and your spirit. But for now, we're going to get right back, or we're going to get into today's topic. It's a chapter 2, as you know, on, continuing to be good and do good. Continue being good and doing good. If you haven't watched chapter 1, check it out. I just wanted to follow up on that message because I think sometimes we underrate or we undervalue the significance and the importance of us doing good and being good. Reason being, I think all of us, again, in varying ways, in varying degrees and extents, in various areas or whatever, I think all of us were taught as a kid, that we should be good. Be good. Good always wins. Do the right thing. Be a good person. And obviously, we haven't necessarily operated at a premium all the time, all across the board when it comes to being good and doing good. But I think that even though we've been given this understanding and we were taught, to be good and do good, I don't think we were really given a real intimate understanding of why it is so important that we do good and be good. And when I say do good and be good, I mean in all aspects of you, with your actions, your deeds, your thoughts, and your intentions. So it's not just doing good in terms of helping people or those kinds of things, although, again, those things are very important. But it's also about you feeling good, thinking good, and doing good in terms of your inner man and your inner woman. I will propose to you that the better you feel and the better you're doing internally, then the better those things are going to express themselves in the physical arena. So it's much to it than just doing good on the surface level. Because you got people doing good, they're contributing to the Salvation Army, they're helping old ladies across the street, whatever it may be. They're going off to, fight in, wars that have a necessity for them to fight in, not some bogus war. So they're doing good things, but at the same time, they could be feeling horrible inside. So it's a holistic approach when I'm referring to doing good and being good. And the reason why it's so important, and the reason why it's bigger than just the notion or the acts and the deeds of just doing good and being good, it's bigger than that because it's much more to it than that. And the reason is because doing good and being good affects you and the opportunities as well as the challenges that present themselves in your life. Let us be mindful, guys, also of the fact that, we all breathe the same air. We're all in this thing together. Somebody's breathing on the other side of the globe right now. That's the same air you're breathing. And I presume you comprehend that's exactly the truth. Because even though you're not in the same room with that person, you're not in the same state, you're not in the same country, they're on the other side of the globe, it's still the same it's still the same air because there's no other air coming into this planet. It's capped off and we're all sharing the air. You comprehend? It's the same energy. We're all in this energetic field together. We're sharing this. You're not just one drop in the ocean. You're the entire ocean in one drop. So that drop of the ocean is sharing and is a part of the entire ocean. And now you comprehend. So we got to be mindful of these things. And so what we carry around within us, not only is it affecting our world, our reality, our possibilities, outcomes, challenges, successes, all of these things, it's also contributing to the global collective energy for others to feed off on or to be torn down by. So it's bigger than just doing good just for the sake of doing good. It's bigger than just feeling good just for the sake of feeling good. In addition, doing good and feeling good, it's literally controlling, shaping, and directing the course of your life. It's playing a major role in the course and the destiny of your life. It's for example, if you decide to eat steak and eggs, or you decide to eat, I don't want to say ice cream but we'll go with ice cream. Pardon me. If you decide to eat steak and eggs and the other person decides to eat ice cream and cookies, you can see that based on the choices that they've made, they're going to experience something totally different in terms of the way they feel, short term, and as well as the way that it affects them long term. And it doesn't have to be a polarity there in terms of the example of the choices that I just set forth. It could be someone eating steak and eggs and the other one eating a salad. You can still see they're going to get two different outcomes from their metabolism, from the nutrients they absorb, etc. So it's the same thing when you're walking around with positive or negative energy. You're going to experience two different outcomes. The effect that it's having on you is going to be night and day. It's two different things. So it's important that we realize that it's literally bigger than just, hey, I'm not being good just for the sake of being good. I'm not just doing good just for the sake of doing good. You can imagine how someone who walks around feeling positive, upbeat, dealing with their challenges, their setbacks, their shortcomings, they're dealing with it in as positive of a way as possible. Their outcome, the options for them, the way that they feel short term and long term is going to be totally different. It's a totally different highway than someone who is walking around sour, bitter, resentful, and negative. And it's not just their physical outcome in terms of their jobs, the opportunity and the challenges that present themselves from a physical standpoint in terms of those things, but you can imagine how it's having a positive or negative effect on that person's health. So doing good and being good, it's a very intricate part of our destiny and how we move forward in life. Doing good and feeling good, it's also a part of your spiritual assignment. If you really believe that you carry this thing that we call the light, the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it, if you really, really believe that, then it is your divine assignment to carry that light, to carry that energy of doing good and feeling good. Not in a fictitious way, not in a way that you're in denial and you can't accept the fact that some days are better than others, some days are worse than others, some moments are more challenging and trying. It's not to be dismissive or in denial of any of those things. It's just to say that ultimately it is your responsibility. It's your divine assignment to carry around an energy that says, in spite of what it looks like, what people think, how I feel, my shortcomings, it's still my divine assignment to feel good and to do good. And we know what feeling good and doing good, remaining modest, remaining humble, remaining courageous, remaining tolerant, compassionate, faithful, strong. So again, we weren't necessarily taught and schooled on, why it's important that you do good and why it's important that you be good. There are some people out there, there's some energy out there in these days and times that would love nothing else than to give you their mind, to give you their narcissistic tendencies, their sense of hopelessness, their sense of bitterness, their sense of anger. Because just like you are committed to feeling good, doing good, and being good, others are out there committed to being negative. We all know that. And yet your God-given assignment remains. The requirement for you to stay zoomed out and see the big picture and walk in wisdom. Wisdom is an application of knowledge. So now that you know, you apply that. And through him and sure determination and faith in him, you begin to realize, I need to do good and I need to feel good. I need to be good. I don't have to run from my shortcomings. I don't have to run from the hurt, my disappointment. I let myself down, let others down. I don't have to run from any of that. That's all par for the course. You understand? See the role that it's playing in your life and in collective society. What energy are you carrying? What energy are you putting into this global energy? Are you putting something out there that's others can draw on, that's going to help them, that's going to inspire them, that's going to motivate them, that's going to help heal them? You're putting out and you're carrying goodness on the inside? Or are you carrying around more of the same toxic energy that the overwhelming majority of people have? You see them. Rude, disrespectful, just outright shameful. But it's not about them. It's about you. And once you fully comprehend and accept the fact that in spite of it all, it's still your God-given assignment. It's still affecting your destiny, the way that you feel. Doing good and being good. You don't have to surrender your happiness, your joy, your love, your faith, your confidence, your tolerance, your wisdom, your compassion. You don't have to surrender any of that just because someone hurt your feelings, just because you let someone down, just because you made some mistakes, just because somebody backstabbed and betrayed you. You don't have to surrender all of that. It's still your God-given assignment to realize, hey man, I can't waddle in this. For some information on how you can master feeling good, being good, and doing good, even though everything and everybody in your life may be contrary to that, for some information on how you can be calm in the eye of the storm. Calm as in how you can still be good and feel good and do good while you're in the storm. For some information on how you could do that, reach out to this ministry. I would love nothing more than to be able to assist you. I was doing a workshop just yesterday, and I was telling a young lady that I was counseling, hey, listen, my strength comes from me strengthening you. I feel better the more I help others feel better. And I mean this genuinely. Like, that's where my strength comes from. This is the mechanism that he has chosen for me to be strong and be renewed. If I can help you be strong and be renewed and regenerate you, this is how I'm regenerated. So reach out to this ministry. And you can see why when you reach out to this ministry, I'm committed and determined to assist you and to make you stronger. Not that I'm doing it from a selfish place. It's just that I understand that when I help others become strong, I become stronger by making you stronger. So again, reach out to this ministry, man. But it's important that you understand, that you totally get it. How it affects you, how it affects the collective world around you, how it's shaping and molding your destiny, how it's having a positive or negative effect on, your health, just based on you being good and doing good or not. When you make those different choices to be good or be the opposite of good, you're consciously making a choice of what you are placing an order to the universe of what you want and how you want and what you want to add to this collective energy that we all share. No more energy is coming into this galaxy, this universe, whatever you want to call it. We know, we're familiar with the ancient scientific truth that no energy is created or destroyed. It's either transmuted or transferred. No new energy. All the energy that's ever been here since the horse and carriage days, since the Adam and Eve days, all the energy that's in this global system is the same energy that's always been there. So what are you doing? Are you putting something out there to make things better or make things worse? Are you holding something inside of you that's going to make you better or make you worse? And trust me, I know it's not easy. But yet, your great divine assignment remains. I'll share my testimony with you guys real quick to inspire you guys, to motivate you guys and encourage you guys to reflect on your own testimonies. Some of you guys have overcome so much. There's nothing that you could be considered other than a warrior of God. You've gone through so much. You still haven't surrendered your soul. And so now it's just about getting to this level to where you just decide that, you know what? I'm going to move forward by looking backwards. Because I know when I look back, I can see all them times when God delivered me, when he helped me, when he assisted me, when he brought me through, when I had no idea. I had basically given up in terms of how it was going to work or if it was going to work at all. And yet he brought me through. See, when you've overcome these things, then things like continuing to be good and do good, these things become that much more easier in spite of the storm, because you're able to look back and say, hey man, look here, he didn't fail me then. Maybe it didn't end up how I wanted it to, but it sure didn't destroy me. Here I am, still with love and joy and faith and, pursuit of wisdom and, compassion and all these things. He's a good Father, this thing that we call God. So my own personal testimony is, hey man, look, I was born into piss poor poverty. Not all of this new age saying where they're talking about they got it out the mud. We had to eat mud, essentially, metaphorically speaking. Getting it out the mud, that's a vacation for us. That's a treat. That's a delight. That's an easy day. We didn't have to get it out the mud. We had to get it out the sewer. Food, bread, water, shelter, income. I was born into a poverty so bad, man, that we had to go to sleep at night. And literally, if we forgot to put them cotton balls in our ears, you ran a serious risk of waking up with bugs crawled in your ear, roaches. I could think back to beyond that to where, and I'll make this brief, guys. I could think back to prior to then, we didn't even have running water in our apartment. Caveat: we had running water, but we didn't have a toilet. We had water coming through the pipes, but we didn't have a toilet. And so we had to go out back in the alley up the block and sit down on a toilet in an open field, connected to nothing, use the bathroom till it got filled up, pick it up, move the toilet down a little bit of ways, and then set fire to that area. You can't tell me God ain't real. I ran away from the house, from my parents' house at the age of 9. I joined a gang. I got strung out on drugs. The first things that was given me when I ran away was drugs and guns. Any kind of violent crime that you can mention, except for sex-related crimes and except for the crime of murder, any other violent crime, particularly, with handguns and brass knuckles and knives and all that, baseball bats, there's probably 100% chance that I've done those things. I'm not here because I was tough or brave or smart or lucky. I'm here because of him and only him. I went through 3 separate sentences in the Juvenile Department of Corrections, ranging from the age of 11 up through the age of 16, and I went through 4 separate sentences in the Adult Department of Corrections, from the age of 17 up to the age of 34. You can't tell me God isn't real. I've been homeless, eating disorders. I was obese, nearly 80 pounds overweight. Anxiety, depression. And even though the journey continues to go on, he's brought me through that. And that's been nearly a quarter of a century ago. And each day it's more and more time that he's delivered me from that. I've gone on by him to become an all-natural professional bodybuilder, a certified fitness trainer, the founder of my own fitness training company, and the founder of this ministry. Just trying to give back. And again, I believe that when we do something each and every day that acknowledges, all that he has given us, which is our minds, our bodies, and our spirit, it makes us more potent as his children. It makes us more capable of literally remaining good and continuing to do good in spite of it all. Yeah, you wronged me. Yeah, you betrayed me. Yeah, you let me down. Yeah, you stuck knives in my back. But you know what? I'm not going to let that make me bitter. I'm not going to run out there and now all of a sudden I'm not doing good. I'm not being good. I'm not thinking good. I'm not being conscious of my spiritual man and letting that thing just waddle in it. No, I'm being good and doing good in spite of it all. So we all have something that we can look back on, stories and journeys in our lives, where when we look back, we can move forward because we realize, hey, I can do this through him. The services that are utilized to achieve the goal of holistic health and wellness are experiential philosophy for the mind, ISSA certified fitness training for the body, and clean-hearted spiritual teachings and practices for the spirit and for the soul. For more information about the uniqueness of this ministry, reach out to this ministry. I'm going to leave an email link down in the description. If you have questions, if you're interested in scheduling your initial consultation and evaluation in any or all of these areas, send me an email. Oh, and by the way, some additional services that are provided by this ministry under that holistic approach and those services that I just mentioned consist of good old-fashioned motivational teaching and youth and young adult mentoring and counseling. If you haven't made those mistakes, don't make them, because there's an outcome that's waiting for you. And if you have made those mistakes and you've tried and you've stumbled and you've fallen over and over again, don't give up, because he uses me as inspiration and a testimony that he still can bring you through. Just don't quit. Now, if you got anything out of this ministry, guys, if it's helpful to you at all, then please give back to this ministry. Help support this ministry. Help support the mission and the divine assignment on this ministry. You can do so by subscribing to the channel if you aren't already subscribed, and by hitting the share button and the thumbs up button on each and every video, if you would, please. So if you haven't hit it on this video just yet, now's the time for you to take that, 1, 2, 3 seconds and subscribe. If you aren't already subscribed, hit the share button and the thumbs up button. If this ministry is benefiting you in any way, hit that share button, because chances are if it's beneficial to you, then it's also beneficial to someone else, at least potentially. So do those things if you would, please. Be sure to hit the bell icon also if you'd like to receive a notification when I upload a new message. And if the Holy Spirit moves you to help this ministry even further by making a monetary donation to this ministry, I'm going to leave a Cash App link down in the description for you to do that if the Holy Spirit moves you to do so. Remember, no amount is too small. I'm looking to download this Buy Me a Coffee app so I can just make that even plainer to you guys. Hey, listen. No amount is too small. There's nothing to be, anything that you give this ministry, I'm grateful for. Your comments, your subscription, hitting the share, hitting the like, your words of encouragement, your email words of encouragement, your interest in the services, all of this stuff. So I value you guys beyond words. I'm going to get out of there. I believe that's everything. I love you all. I'm praying for you all. And I encourage you all to live a life that prioritizes faith over fear, truth over tradition, love over lust, and people over profit. That's what I got for you guys. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. I am Brother Minister Mongoose. And I will holler back. Peace.